Oh, thank you.
Watch this. Boom. Look at that. Alright, today is the day. It's finally happening. We are fixing this with this. Alright, and I've got two special helpers with me today. Nick, introduce yourself a little bit, bud.
What's up, y'all?
Nick Bino. Or, I'm sorry, not Bino. How do you pronounce it?
Bino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, Bino.
Super slow Veloster owner. It's kind of dope. You may see some content later of it. Follow me Instagram, at Veloster NYX.
Yeah, and you guys will see that video coming up maybe before or after the lowering spring install. But I'm super excited because we get to finally lower this car, and that's something I've wanted to do for a long time. So finally making it happen. So what we went with here is the H&R Lowering Springs. I wanted these ones because the drop in the front and rear was what I wanted, and also because they're blue and it matches the car. Totally not why I wanted to buy these, but also Nick came through and went to O'Reilly's. Yeah, and grabbed a spring compressor kit because without this you cannot do lowering springs.
I always end up being the cameraman.
That's because you're good at it. You see that B-roll? Oh, I gotta give Nate some credit. If you saw that last video of that car meet I shot, those rollers in the beginning were Nate. So Nate, pat yourself on the back for that one because that was pretty damn good. That was his first time doing that too, so I'm super proud of him. He went full send and took the seatbelt off. We're gonna go ahead and try to attempt to do this install within the day. And I think with 3 people, between the 3 of us, we could probably get that done because we were trying to shoot Nick's car before he leaves and before we lose light because the light is fading now. So let's get started. Alright, so obviously we're in the middle of undoing the wheels right now. Let me just show you what we're working with here. So we have the spring compressors because it is impossible to get these off of the front strut without compressing the spring when you drop these things out. We're going to undo the bolts back here. It's going to release the strut from the brake assembly here, and then we're going to try and go up there and loosen the top hat and then try and bring this whole thing out and then compress the springs and get the spring off. Put the lowering springs back on. Should be done. Backs are a little bit easier. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So buddy Nick here is doing the bolts on the back wheels. So if you look up under here, all we're gonna need to do when we take this wheel off, Nate, do we need to undo the sway bar to get this to...
Maybe.
We might have to on your car.
Because look, if you look up under here, it's just the springs are sitting on the back here. I mean, we could even compress the springs.
I was gonna say we might be able to compress the springs while they're sitting in the seat.
Yeah, that makes sense. Gonna compress these, take them out, compress the new springs, and then throw those in. Car's fine. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I thought I had like a nail in my tire. That would have sucked.
You could see the waving and swiping on there though.
It's okay. They're okay. Nick just brought up a very good point. What kind of stickers did I get with this thing, man? Obviously, that's why you buy parts, right? No. They have to be in here in this packet thing. Is that a birth certificate? Oh, it's a warranty. No H&R stickers? Like,
No.
really?
This one has a warning about the suspension of the vehicle has been modified.
I feel super guilty because Nate and Nick are literally doing all the work, so I'm actually gonna, pitch in now. Look at my homemade tripod. It's 2 paper rolls because I don't have my tripod with me today, so here we go. Enjoy this time lapse of me helping. Little update. We're just removing the rear end links to the sway bar in order to get room to compress the spring and take it out. We ended up having to use the floor jack, as you can see, which pretty much is a spring compressor in itself. But yeah, we're just trying to get off the rear sway bar to make room to get to those rear springs. So we successfully got one of the rear springs in. Thanks to the help of Nick and Nate, of course, because obviously I can't.
That is in there.
Don't ugga-dugga it. Use the breaker bar. What the hell are you doing, man? No, don't do that more.
Yeah, why don't I use old Bess over there?
Yeah.
The fucking cannon.
She's pretty thick. Ever since I broke one bolt, I don't want to do that anymore.
That's because you were tightening it into a car at about 18,000 feet of torque.
Thank God it's not just me doing this, because if it were just me, I wouldn't even have the wheels off yet or something like that. I don't know.
I was like, a ratchet wrench. And I'm like, oh, this is a ratchet wrench.
Trying to
So
badmouth me over here. My garage. This guy, my garage.
all right, well, we're just gonna do the same exact thing on the other side now. We're also trying to get this semi done before golden hour, which is starting to become that time. We're gonna film Nick's car while he's here, and I think you guys will see that video after this one. Probably a.
Oh, there it is.
I just kicked a bolt like into space. Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say, it's not
Oh shit. It went under here though. This is like if you had Dan help you guys out. It's fine. It's fine. I got it. See, I have it. Everything's fine. This is the only thing Nate and Nick trust me to do. Is loosen a spring compressor off my stock spring. How about you take my shoe size?
You know what you could use for that?
I realize that now, but I'm too far in, so. Oh, guess who got the spring compressor almost off? Me.
Yeah, just put your whole suspension back together.
You. Boom. Stock spring. Let's go. Look at Nick's sweet throttle. Little plug to throttle.
Tag them, tell them what the Evo 8 they just built.
Yeah, if you can kindly send us your Evo without, well, alright, Nick bought something. So,
I bought two things.
give this man your Evo, please. So that we can have something actually worth being on the lift.
It's like 2.5 Velocitors.
Yeah, we just got back from going to get some shots of Nick's car, and they look absolutely sick. We got the backs attached to the car. They are settled in there, and they look really cool. Really can't wait to see that when it's on the ground. Now we're gonna go ahead and attack the front section of the suspension and try and get the springs out of there. It's gonna be a little bit more complicated, but we'll show you what I'm talking about.
What's the deal here, Nate Dog? How we attacking this? See this guy right up here?
Yeah.
We're gonna take this bolt out of the strut, and then we're gonna go up top side, make sure all these brake lines are clear first,
Okay.
and then take the strut out.
All right, cool. As you can see, I'm wearing different clothing right now because it is a different day. This car has been sitting on this lift for 2 days now because we could not get the front struts out of the car without this special tool. This is a strut spreader, and I highly recommend you get one if you're doing this to your car and there's any rust on it whatsoever, which this is a Ford, so I promise you there will be. Big thank you to Mr. Vinot who came to help us with that. Nick, very much appreciated. We're gonna get back on to ripping out the struts here so that we can get in these final 2 lowering springs. What the? Dude. Is that Mark? Mark, help me out here, please. So after many hours of frustration, lots of help from Nate and from Mark stepping on my car, we got the factory strut out. It is not as easy as every other video on the internet makes it out to be. So be prepared for that. And apparently we have an even bigger battle with taking out the top hat for this thing. So I'm really not looking forward to that. So now we've got the spring compressors on it because you need to compress the spring in order to undo the top hat, or else you will have like a spring missile that will shoot out and possibly hurt you, and you don't want that. So you need spring compressors to do this. You can rent some. We rented some from O'Reilly's, so it's not that hard to find. But don't do it without spring compressors. Don't do the freaking, what is it, zip tie method or whatever. It's just not worth almost killing yourself. Just trust me, get the spring compressors. Real quick, if you cannot buy or rent a strut separator, you can use a scrap metal or a steel plate and a bolt to just kind of push it open. So if you put the bolt through and then screw it in on the threaded side, you can actually use like a steel plate to separate the strut. Now that we knew how to do it this time, the second one came out a lot faster than the first one. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the spring on that, throw it back in the car, and I'm not gonna show you that much of this one because it's the same exact thing as the first time that you saw it. So we're gonna throw the new spring on this, then we're gonna throw it back on the car, and then we're actually gonna get to see the car in its lowered state.
And we're gonna make sure that this time the Dorito is facing the right way.
Always make sure that your strut Dorito orientation, your SDO, is correct. Proper SDO when installing lowering springs is essential. All that's left now is to raise the car back up, reattach all the bolts that we need to put back in the lower half of the suspension that connects to my like brake assembly and all that, the brake disc and everything. And after that we can throw the wheel back on and finally see the car when it's lowered. I hope it's slammed, but I also have an alignment scheduled for tomorrow to fix whatever camber issues that are definitely going to come with this, and you will need to get an alignment after you do anything to your car suspension wise, so just an FYI, a heads up for you there. You have to get that done or else you're going to wear your tires terribly and go through tires like nobody's business. Let's get to it.
Like, what was that?
Let her drop.
What was that show where they...
Let her drop. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What was the show where they used to like remake your house? They're like, move
oh,
that
yeah.
bus.
Move that bus. Move that bus. Oh. Oh. Man, that is a lot lower, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot lower.
Whoa.
Dude, we haven't even...
It hasn't even settled yet, though. Whoa. I have an exhausting stepping over. Dude, look at how much better that looks. There's so much less room there. Oh, she's low now. Oh my god, dude, that looks so much better. Which brings me to my segue. As you guys can see, it is nighttime right now. In about 5 seconds, it's gonna be daytime. You ready for this? Daytime. Alright, real quick, I just want to let you guys know that there will not be any videos for the next probably 2 weeks because Nate and I may have come in contact with somebody who might have had COVID, so we're going to do the smart thing and quarantine. So I'm not going to be able to get out and make any videos unless maybe I do like a car vlog. Sus. I just ate chicken. I literally just ate. It's stuff in my throat, right? Don't expect any like videos in the next 2 weeks because we're trying to be smart. I'm not trying to, you know, go out and spread anything if I have something. We're just gonna figure it out, quarantine, be smart. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the video and I will see you as soon as I possibly can. And if you stayed this long also, thank you very much. And I will see you in the next video. Later.